Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Pat. You're not Doug, you're Joe Bonamassa.
Yes, I am.
Well, actually, I am Doug.
And I actually am Pat.
Welcome back. So it's obvious that the show is going to involve the virtuoso guitar player Joe Bonamassa, who came into Portland April 13th to give a concert. And we had the opportunity to go down there and meet him. How did that happen, Pat?
You know, it was just one of those deals where I ran into him in Los Angeles in January.
Photo.
And he said that he would be open to doing the Doug and Pat show if they had time when he was in Portland. So in the meantime, I'd gotten in contact with his guitar tech, Mike Hickey, and
Photo of Mike.
super nice guy and a very good guitar player in his own right. And he in turn hooked us up with meeting with he and Joe at the Keller Auditorium here in town.
So this is us going down to the Keller, and we met up with them, and we took a couple of old guitars down, and we took some Doug and Pat Show t-shirts. We're showing them there. Presented one to Joe. He drops it.
Oh, I think it's going to
You
fit.
got your own swag.
That's better than a Billy Gibbons shirt.
It is.
Oh, way better.
And it's close.
So we wanted to talk to Joe about his Sunburst Les Pauls that he is touring with. He's touring with 3 of them. And about his philosophy about collecting guitars and being one of those guys that's out there with him. Now, we're actually at the Keller, and they're at sound check, so it's kind of noisy. And you can hear every once in a while the keyboard thing going on. And you can also hear Mike, the guitar tech, who's standing by the camera making comments. So it was pretty live.
It was definitely live. It was a lot of fun.
And I think we got a lot of insights. Here's Joe.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, my collection is pared down to just stuff I use on a daily, if it's not being used or currently in the rotation, then I don't need to have it, I have.
But that is the thing. That's, I mean, for the average guy, he's not going to go out. He's never going to see anybody play these guys. That's the thing that, hats off to you, theoretically. That
Well,
you're out there and you're playing.
What else? I mean, I can't justify owning them because if it went from somebody's safe to my safe with the same set of strings that it had 10 years ago when it went from somebody else's safe to that guy's safe and then my safe, what's the point? That might as well just, and to me, I'm most comfortable knowing where they are. And I'm most comfortable knowing that they're with me. Because that's the thing. And when I first got my very first one, I let the guitar play me. I didn't play it. Because I was worried of, some guy came up to me, it's like I literally didn't even have a guitar 2 days, and some guy came up to me and he goes, every scratch you put on that thing takes $1,000 off the value. And I looked at him and I said, so if I put 200 scratches on it, is it worth nothing?
There you go.
And I said, after that, I said, you know what, I'm going to play this thing. I'm not going to let the guitar play me. And, you know what, we take care of them. We look after them. They have their own schedule. They have their own, they move at random times and random places, and never the same thing twice because one, it's a safety issue, and I don't want to be the one, all my headstocks and necks are intact, and I don't want to be the guy who does that. We're not cavalier with them, but we're not shy. And we get out there and we play them in battle conditions, and it's not for everybody. It's not a thing where it's there's strat guys, and I'm sure there's people in I don't know the name of this theater is Portland Theater or whatever, and
Keller Auditorium.
Keller Auditorium, right? And this is the one with the big Portland sign in the front, right?
No.
No.
Oh, is it a different place?
That's
Snips.
Oh, really? We're not even in the same place. But whatever. Anyway, that's why it looks different. I didn't recognize it.
It's Boston?
You're lucky you're here at all.
No, I thought we were playing the same place we did last time, but I didn't recognize any of it. So, but people in 20 rows back, don't know the difference. You know, they don't. They.
A lot of them do. You're known for that. A lot
I am
of
known.
them do.
Well, you know, a lot of it, what we do sell is a spectacle, and more so than not, the spectacle really has. You know, there's, you know, for a guitar geek like me, I always put myself, you know, I'm a consumer first. I'm a collector first. I'm a, you know, guitarist. You know, if I went and saw a concert, I knew, you know, like that's why Gary Moore was always such a big influence on me personally, was the fact that Gary was, when Gary played a Strat, he played a Fiesta Red Strat. You know what I mean? Gary played a Les Paul. He played a Burst. And he went out there and played, those were his guitars. And I'm like, that always was a huge influence on me going, they're not sacred relics only to be displayed, you know, at cocktail parties and at guitar shows. You know, it's like they need to be played, you know.
Well, when you're playing it, I mean, it's like there are a bunch of guys out there who are never, ever going to hear one of those guitars played by someone who knows what he's doing. I mean, that's just the way that it is. I mean,
Well,
name some more artists, the guys who are
well, you
touring
know,
the
the guy
circuits.
who doesn't get a lot of credit and has been taking a burst out for a long time is Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. When you see him play at Les Paul, chances are it's a 59 or a 60. I think he's got two. Metallica, I know they break them out every once in a while. I know the guys in Aerosmith break them out. We encourage Brad as much as possible to break it out.
Yeah, you're only touring with 2? We have 6.
Well, no. I mean, you know, and the thing is, it's, you know what it is. It's like it's a fun. To me, it's fun to watch people, you know, get more of a thrill taking a picture of a spot that they saw it in Beauty and the Burst. You know, it's like you can hear when at the end when I play Spot, you hear in the crowd mics, you know, because we're inside our ears now without monitors, and you can hear the guys in the front row go, "That's Spot, that's Page so and so of Beauty and the Burst." I'm like, man, you know more than I do about this damn thing. Tell me where that original tailpiece went. The one that's all worn out. Anyway, you know, and that's because, you know, you're kind of sharing them, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, when I feel I'm just kind of a curator, you know, and a practitioner. And when my time is up, and they'll go to somebody else. But my job is to take care of them, play them, and try to, you know, put some good vibes in them, and then somebody else will, you know, somebody else.
Because that's the way it is.
Yeah.
They'll all go to somebody. They'll outlive us, you know. And the other thing is.
What?
You can't take it when you go? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can't.
That's what I'm not. Joe's saying. Okay.
Well, the other thing
I'm
is
standing here.
Well, the other thing is you know, most importantly is, you know, for guys who, you know, enter into that club of paying that kind of money for, you know, some maple, mahogany, and Brazilian rosewood, you have to enter into that club going, if it's worth $1 tomorrow, I'm still happy with it. Because if you look at it going, what's it worth now? Then it's, you know, then chances are you won't own it for very long because the guitar will own you.
It's a commodity. It's not a musical instrument. It's not an opportunity to sound better.
You know,
your comments about when you got the first one, you know, you saying how it changed you a lot.
Well, when I first got the first one, all my rig and everything was set up for, literally set up for a higher output pickup. And then when we got Magellan, you now notice everything. The rig's changed, and everything we have in our stable is the output pickups. And that's the influence of, you know, the clarity factor. You know, and the beauty of these things is when you put them on the front pickup and you turn this down, and it gets that bell-like clean tone. That you can't get, and it's the combination of the pickup and the pots. You know, you put PAFs in a new guitar, and that pot just doesn't work like these. It's not a full sweep.
Right.
You know, it starts 0 is 0, and then you turn it, and then it comes on. It's not a. And Danny Gatton, when I used to hang with him, he's a real stickler about pots because the pot makes or breaks the guitar. Because they have to be full range, you know. So he was very He collected pots almost to the point where he said, if it's a good pot, I'll buy it.
The next section is actually about Joe's guitars. We were just so lucky that he brought out the 3 Sunburst Les Pauls that he had been playing, the 60, the Principal Skinner, and then the what he called Spot. And we hear Mike back there behind the camera talking away, and which was great. We got those insights. So these are Joe talking about his Sunburst Les Pauls that he's playing on tour.
This is beautiful. I'm a sucker for gold tops. The other thing is I noticed that on all of these is there's no absolution of how high this bridge goes.
Right.
Like on the late 60s, they tend to sit real high. But I've seen some that
And then a
sit,
lot of 59s are low
Such a real
or
long-
high.
The neck pitch
And
is.
it's whatever the guy who was cutting the hole.
Here, hold this. I'll show you. I'll show you my latest purchase.
Yeah, when they're making the mortise joint.
Yeah.
Skinny neck. What's wrong with a skinny neck?
Oh yeah, so this is the one that you were just playing.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. Now look at this. I mean, like, this thing sits up way high.
Yeah.
So much we actually put other thumb wheels on it.
And this being a 60,
Yeah.
Like
late 70, having the knobs.
707453. This guitar spent most of his life in South Africa, and there's only there's pictures of it with Kent tuners, literally off a Kent guitar.
Kent guitar.
And the guy must have been such a Gibson fan because he glued his amp logo to the top. Luckily, it came off without too many issues.
You can put it back on.
It's always that.
And but I love
We
the
can
idea.
autograph it.
I love the idea that this thing played gigs in Johannesburg and in Cape Town and all around South Africa. I think it even went up to like Mozambique and stuff like that. And I love the fact that this thing was a world away in a place that
The stories they could tell.
in the stories that it can tell, probably driving around some Rover, strapped to the top of a, in a brown, on our way to the gig, and it survived, and it was very appealing. The story was very appealing, and then I played it, and I said, I played it, and I said, I don't need another one. I don't need another one. I don't want another one. I'm not in the market for this guitar. I'm just playing it because I'm trying to be polite, and my mother always said to be polite.
There you go.
After the show, my friend Detlef, I said, we need to talk tomorrow about that guitar because I played it and I didn't want to give it back. It was, and I just go, you know what? I traded some guitars off and wrote a contract to myself to sell off some things. I have to, which is now legally binding.
Because you don't want to get sued by you.
That's right.
And I said, you know what? At the end of the
in
day, if it's screaming at me that much, it needs another life outside, South Africa, and then so be it, and it's meant to be. The other thing is, this guitar is fully authorized. You can get it on camera by the German government. It has a site certificate. So you go through the airport going,
Oh yeah.
So that's well in our world now,
Yeah,
as a touring musician, it changes the game a little bit. Now, if you read somewhere that holy hell is broken loose at a German Joe Bonamassa concert and I'm in some kind of prison, you'll know why.
There it is.
Because I'll tell you what, if they come for them, they don't really know what they're dealing with. Because Papa Bear, get between Papa Bear and his guitars.
That's right.
It won't be.
Do what
It
you
will
gotta
not be
do.
clean. It won't be a clean exchange. Anyway, but no, this has got a sight.
Nice color.
It's a bit. Yeah, I'm a fan of the tomato soup. People poo-poo them, but
So how does this one sound compared to the Principal Skinner?
brighter, clear. It's a really great blues guitar.
How appropriate.
It's a really great.
Have you taken readings on these pickups as far as the?
No, we don't do that. We just play.
Because we can unsolder them and do that for you right
Pop the covers.
Covers are no problem. I don't need covers.
Joe, there was at $1 quite a story on the Les Paul form.
There was, yeah.
Yeah,
Some guy got his like
feelers are.
yeah, because he was trying to get it for. I think the deal was like 80 grand or something.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when they pick it up.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, we are.
And then this is Principal Skinner.
Principal Skinner. Principal Skinner has a top a little bit like that one right
It's
there.
very. I think
Does your
yours
guitar have a name?
It does,
Does now.
That's very similar.
isn't it?
We call this guitar
It's a beautiful top. Yours is better.
Oscar.
Why?
Because it's wild.
Very good. That is
No.
That's,
Because everybody has.
Or are you an odd
That
couple?
is.
it's very similar wood.
Why are you so grouchy?
Damn, that's great. That's great.
And this
very
guitar
similar.
doesn't sound as bright.
This guitar is more of a rock guitar.
More rock and almost more
but not,
high-fi.
but not like
Almost high-fi.
not like Spot. Spot we'll break out in a minute. But Spot is a true. It's a road dog and it's a true. But
Jeez.
these are definitely related. These two.
59?
59. Wow. 1951. 91951. Oddly enough, both
that when you were born?
both
51?
Skinner bursts were sequential serial numbers.
Yes, they were.
1950.
Which made me at first nervous.
Well, you know what? Today is Doug's birthday.
And I was born in 1951.
Born in 51, so
See the
Doug-
magic that we have going on
See,
here?
it's like this is almost meant
It's
to
like
be.
it thinks I'm feeling something going on here.
This guitar spent its life in Minnesota, Benton. You remember reading about the guy who inherited the guitar from his father? His father gave him the burst, and he is a chief of police, and he wanted a log cabin on the lake.
Yes.
And he sold the guitar, and he named the cabin Les Paul because of the guitar bought the log cabin. That's the guitar. Skinner burst.
Double.
Yeah, because this one here, if you really crank on it, you could feel it wanting to shift. And what you don't want to do is have those things come out. But this one here, that's a cowboy belt if I ever saw one.
Oh
Look
yeah.
at that.
Hell yeah.
And that's up top. That's necklace style.
Good necklace.
Yeah. But some of the scratches are mine. But
But you're a player and you play them.
it does.
That's a refreshing
Used but not abused. But generally, if you see a guitar that's been played this much, there's a reason why. Sure. I had Joe Glazier refret this guitar. I had Magellan refret it too.
Down in LA.
He's in Nashville. He's really the only guy I trust with this kind of apparatus. And I'll tell you why I did it. It's no fun driving a Ferrari with bolt tires. And what happens is there's a point where the middle of the fretboards were getting, on Magellan especially, and on this thing, the middle of the fretboard was, you're playing right on the wood.
Yeah.
And
Get underneath.
and you're losing tone.
Yeah.
And you're losing the bloom because the frets are so dead. And I said, you know what? Generally, I don't like to alter really nice, all original vintage guitars. I said, but I, like you, will have this guitar for the rest of my life. And if you see me homeless, I'll be living in the lifting cases. Okay. But that's that I'll have this guitar. And I know by the time I'm done with it, this thing will be, probably have to refret it again. But it's a beautiful guitar. It doesn't like to sit long periods. If I leave it at home for a tour, I come back and these pots just crap out.
Yep.
And it took me 3 days when I first got it. It took me 3 days to get the guitar working. So Skinner needed a little bit of TLC before she was road ready. But once the pots cleared out and
You never missed a beat with that song.
they're
was warm either.
exactly 59 spec. No, we didn't want to alter the actual spec of it, and they're 59 size fret wire for the larger fret. And then this is Spot. This is that's a big top.
This is a lot of toppage right here.
Yeah,
Three amigos. Tres hombres.
but this guitar is a road dog. Been around.
Double whites.
Double whites. Probably was owned by a man named Costa at one point. I've never actually seen a picture of it without the double white, so they could be
I've seen it with covers.
they could be originals of the guitar. So I don't know. You know, has its fair share of bruises. Took a nice little hit there, but it's never been broken. 1688.
How's this one sound compared to
This guitar is if you want
It's
to
explosive.
make friends and enemies at the same time, this is the one you pick. It's the loudest gun in the West. It just popping the covers does something to the sound. I mean, there's a reason why they use the. I mean, it just opens it up. And I've toyed. I've always wanted to see it with covers because I'm a covers guy. But you know, and I'm also a firm believer. If you like the guitar as it currently sits, don't alter it at all. You know, even though it's a great lesson for a new guitar. If you like it,
Yeah.
don't chase your
Don't
tail.
dunk in it. Don't DiMarzio it.
Well,
just,
I mean,
just let it go.
There's
Play
a
it.
lot of there's a lot of kits. I mean, there's a lot of I mean, you can go online and there's a lot of stuff. Aftermarket this. Make your reissue just like a burst or do
right,
this and do
that's
this. If you're unhappy with the guitar, chances are you will still be unhappy with the guitar with the mods.
Right.
If you're happy with the guitar, chances are you may not get back to that place. Every time you take a soldering iron and even if you pull the pickup out, it may not sound the same when you put it back in. So I'm a real
Yeah, if it's doing it,
Believer.
let it do it.
this one's a road dog. This is a really nice top on this.
So this was pretty fun. We'd been there for quite a while, and Joe was just about done. He needed to get ready for his concert, and we asked him to weigh in on the Kardashians.
And he did.
And that's all I got for
That's it? That's all?
that's all I got. I'm sorry. We don't have any real
We were
nice
going to
ones.
talk about the Kardashians. Is it too late for that now?
No, I'll tell you what, that's a sad life, right? I mean, what do you do? Oh, we have a reality show. Okay, what's your reality? Well, we have a reality. We have a reality. We walk
It's our
around.
show.
We walk around. And we are famous. Famous for what? You know what kids say? I sound like a grumpy old man because I'll be 36 in less than a month. Okay, grumpy, getting grumpier, more curmudgeon.
It gets worse.
Antisocial.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are starting to describe me as
Yeah,
antisocial.
well, it's all over the web.
Curmudgeon.
That's not for me to say.
Wait
Yeah.
till you're 80, you'll turn out like that.
Or maybe I'll flip around.
You
and
become
maybe
loving in it and
Right,
and
like
supportive of
me
it.
and my I'll buy an old farm in Virginia, sit there with a cigar and some Pappy Van Winkle and reminisce about the days of yesteryear. But now I'm starting to become more grumpy.
But we weren't done yet. So we followed Joe back into his dressing room back there, and he had a Victoria amplifier, some kind of custom-looking thing. And he played the 60 Sunburst, and he played the 58 Gold Top through there. And we were actually there for quite some time. We have a little bit of footage of him playing these guitars, which is
I'm a fan of the 10-gauge strings. I think it does something to the clarity of the guitar, but I can't live play 10s yet.
Really?
Because I get too aggressive and I overbend. But every burst I play with 10s sounds better to my ears. And I think you can go too heavy,
So you're not using Billy Gibbons 7s?
Not yet.
Boy.
Other than Marshall amps, I'm not a big British amp guy. I find them pretty. To me, a Fender circuit's happening.
But when you're touring now, you're playing through 50 watt, 100 watt Marshall.
4 cabs. The middle cabinet, there's 2 straights. There's one with a logo, one without a logo. The one without a logo is Paul Kossoff's old cabinet. And I know this because I bought it from Paul Rogers. I gave a donation for an animal sanctuary, like a cabinet.
You know, I'd just like to say, from my own personal point of view, that Joe is the real deal. I mean, he is, as far as playing wise, as far as his guitar collecting, just the whole package. He is a complete package. And to me, he is the torchbearer of Les Paul, Marshall, that sound, that style of music. And, you know, if you watch that Eric Clapton sitting in with him at Royal Albert Hall, you kind of get the feeling like Clapton is, here, Joe, take it. And the boy does a good job.
And amazingly cool guys. Joe and Mike is guitar tech, really cool. We're
Yeah.
just a couple guys like you guys. We love old guitars. We've got a couple of them. We just wanted to go down and talk to them about them, maybe get some insights, see if we can get 5 minutes from them. We weren't selling anything. We weren't buying anything. We're not from a corporation. We're just down there to see him, and it was my birthday that day, and it was a great birthday present. So thanks, Joe, and thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
That was just really cool. So I'm Doug.
And I'm Pat, and happy birthday.
What?
You don't look bad for 80.
Why, thank you very much, Patrick. Patrick's 2 years older than me, so there you go. Watch all the other old shows that we have that are online to the Doug and Pat shows. We have about 6 or 7 or something, and the next one is on the Firebirds. We have some more Joe Bonamassa in that show. See you guys.
See you soon.
Okay.
So I'm Doug.
Okay, so you'll start out, you just say,
Hi, everybody.
you'll say, hi everybody, I'm Doug.
Well, I haven't said it yet. You said it. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug.
And I'm Pat. You're not Doug,
Well, I am for today. I'm just a younger version of Doug.
and much better looking, I might add.
I would say, yeah. It's a very good assessment.
Take 2, now you're supposed to say, you're not Doug, you're Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Line.